Hello everyone, my name is Amber. Welcome back to my channel, Amber Reads Romance. Today I am here to go over my TBR for February. I am very excited. We have some really good new releases, a buddy read that I'm excited for, continuing the Outlander read along, lots of stuff going on in February. So let's go ahead and go over my reading plans for February. Okay guys, so I want to quickly get through this because I've already filmed a couple videos. It's been a crazy week. So let's go ahead and go over my TBR. First, I'm going to go over all my ARCs and ALCs. I probably will have ALCs that I didn't remember about or that I'm signing up later. That always happens. But these are the ones that I have so far. And then I will talk about our buddy read. Of course, I'm continuing the Outlander read along. And we have the Immortals After Dark read along that I'm doing for the year of 2025. So again, that's going to be continuing that in February. So let's go ahead and start with the ARCs and ALCs. The first ARC that I want to mention actually is our buddy read as well. So this is going to be really exciting because it's going to be When Hearts Awaken by Victoria Lum. Now, if you've seen my videos, I am on part of Victoria Lum's ARC team, and I just really love her. She's so nice. I've loved this series, this Orchid series that she's been releasing. And so this is going to be the next book in that series. It's going to be a ballerina. She's part of the Anderson family. And then Charles Vaughn, and he's like a billionaire playboy type. So I don't know a ton about it. I've been releasing lots of prompts and blurbs and everything, but I kind of just wanted to go a little bit in blind. But basically, it's another billionaire romance. This is going to be our buddy read as well. So I hope you guys will be reading this with us, and it will be on my channel. I will be posting that a little bit later, more information to come, but that book actually releases on the 5th, so it'll give you plenty of time to get that read if you want to join us for our buddy read. So I'm going to have that ARC for sure. And then I have What's Left of Us by B. Celeste. This actually got pushed back, I think, a couple times. So it should be coming out on the 5th. And this is a little bit different for B. Celeste. She usually writes like kind of taboo, age gap, those type of books. This one, I don't know if it's fully dark romance, but it's got darker vibes, ties to mafia. I believe it's a marriage of convenience. I think the marriage fell apart and now it's maybe a second chance, but I'm not positive on that. I think the daughter is like a daughter of a mafia guy. So, and then the guy is in law enforcement. So that one releases on the 5th as well. And then I requested the ALC for Under an Endless Moon by A.L. Jackson. I listened to the first book in this series, and I freaking loved it. It was one of my favorite audiobooks. It was so well done. So I am really excited. I hope I get this audiobook. I've been really loving A.L. Jackson's audiobooks. I enjoy her audiobooks more than like reading it physically. So I really love that. Valentine PR has been releasing some of these for the ALCs. That one, I believe, comes out on the 10th. Then I have Captivating by Bella Matthews. This is, again, continuing her most recent series. These are like second generation. Most of them are like hockey, but it's a huge family. They're all like, there's some of them in hockey, some of them are in like football. I believe this one is going to be Killian St. James, and he actually is an MMA fighter. So that's kind of cool because that's a little bit different. I think it's going to be one of the daughters. I think she's like almost like Taylor Swift status, like type of that, like a pop singer. So I think she's going to have like a stalker or something and he's going to protect her. I'm thinking that's what this book is about. I don't think they have the full blurb out yet, but I might be wrong. But that one releases on the 13th. Okay, so then I have By the Letter by Julia Wolf. You know, if a Julia Wolf is coming out, I'm going to request the ARC. So I really hope I get this. This is going to be, I think it's a new series, The Mile High Billionaires. And this is going to be, this had a really interesting setup when I was looking into it, because it's like she hooks up with somebody like through this fantasy fulfillment type of app thing. So they kind of have like a one night stand. I think they wear masks, and then she ends up getting pregnant. So it's kind of like a secret baby type of thing. And then, you know, till she figures out who it was, because she didn't know who he was. So, and I think it might be Workplace too, but very excited for that one. That releases the 20th. Then I have 7 of Hearts by Maggie Gates. I actually have never read this author. So I picked this one up, I think through the author agency. And this is like a sister's best friend and accidental pregnancy. I'm having quite a few accidental pregnancies in here, so I'm definitely interested to see how this goes. That one releases on the 24th. I also signed up for Mr. Swoony by Piper Rain. I've been really loving this Nest series. It's hockey romance. They have a full cast. It's duet narration. So I really hope I get, this is the one that does not have the blurb out yet, but I'm really hoping I get this one. That releases on the 25th. And then I have Heartless Beloved. I requested this as an ALC. This was supposed to be out last month, and then it got pushed back. So I'm hoping it's still coming out, but it's set for the 25th. And this is by Lola King. I think this is like a dark romance. I just read one Lola King book, and I really liked it. So I want to give her a chance again. And this seems kind of cool. I think he's like seducing. She's like a daughter of a senator to get information on her, on the senator or something. I'm not positive. And then the last one I have is The Misfit by J.L. Beck. This is in that Oakmount Elite series, which I've been really enjoying. And this is going to be Lee Sterling's romance. So there's really not much about it, though. So I'm just excited. And I forgot to put the date this one comes out on. So sorry about that. Okay, so for the Immortals After Dark read-along, the next 2 books that we're going to be reading is No Rest for the Wicked, which is Sebastian Roth's romance, and he is a vampire. I believe he was like forced to become a vampire, so he never really wanted to. And and then I think it's Katerin. I think that's how you say her name. Correct me if I'm wrong. But she is kind of like an assassin, a Valkyrie chick. So it's going to be their romance. And then Wicked Deeds on a Winter's Night. And this one is Bowen McCreeve. And we were introduced to him in A Hunger Like No Other. And I think he like lost his mate or whatever. So he's like really kind of like fallen apart. And I really liked his character in that book. So I'm very intrigued by his romance. Okay, so here are a couple things that I need to read just like for me that I'm doing. I had a goal that I wanted to finish the Horde King series. So I'm going to be reading Broken by the Horde King by Zoe Draven. I definitely want to finish that series this year so I can get to the newer book that's like has like dragons and stuff in it too. So I don't know why I stopped it. Honestly, it always happens, but and then I have Sweet Prison by Neva Altaj. This is that most recent release, and then Perfectly Imperfect series, which I've loved that entire series. If you haven't started it, I highly recommend it. But this is closely tied to the previous one. So I think you have to read the previous one before you read Sweet Prison, but I did and I loved it. So I'm very excited for this one because I think it's kind of taboo. I think it's like a stepbrother situation. He was like in prison and now he's out. I did notice that a bunch of books of Kay Webster's have come to Kindle Unlimited. So I wanted to give a couple of those a try. I did just pick out one for now, and that is Wicked Lies Boys Tell. And I think this is like an angsty romance and like with his best friend, and it might have bully vibes to it. So I do want to start reading some more so I'm definitely going to pick this one up. And then I have The Wild Man because I never got to. It was on one of my previous TBRs, and I really want to read this because it's kind of like Tarzan retelling type of book. This is by Alex Grayson. So this is one that's been on my TBR a couple times, and I still haven't got to it. So hopefully this time, third time's the charm maybe, and I'll get to this book. And then I want to read Loving Romeo by Laura Pavlov. I read the last 2 books in the Magnolia Falls series, and I freaking loved them. It made me really, really love Laura Pavlov. So I want to read the first books in the series. And then I want to look into her backlist more too. So Loving Romeo, definitely want to get to that this month. Okay, so some of the other stuff that I have from like audiobooks that I'm going to get to. I have Tempted by the Devil by Michelle Hurd. I actually bought this book during one of the big Audible sales. And then I have a 12 Rec from 12 Friends. That's the 4th book in the series. So I want to get the other books read before I get to that 12 Rec. Because I do like to read my series in order, just to be careful. So this is going to be a mafia romance. I literally know nothing about it, but it was such a good deal on Audible, so I just bought it. And then one of my other goals is to finish the Deliver series from Pam Godwin. So I actually have all the audiobooks. I bought the bind-ups, so I have all of them. So I want to finally get to Devastate and finish that. The other one I want to get to is The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King by Carissa Broadbent. I read The Serpent and the King, Wings of Ruin? I can't remember. I'm probably mixing up fantasy names. But I got the first book of this vampire, fantasy. I read the first one, so I want to get to the second one. I bought that one on Audible as well. So I definitely, and I do want to start reading more fantasy this year. So I need to catch up on that. And I don't want to put too much time in between when I read the first one and the second one, because I'm going to forget a ton of shit. Okay, so those ones I all have on like Audible from buying those. And then some any play ones that I'm going to do. I am trying to read more historical romance. So I'm actively putting historical romance on my TBR so I can get to them and not keep putting it off. And so I have It Had to Be a Duke by Vivian Lorette. This is actually the Rake Appreciation Society, one of the picks. I read the other pick during the romance readathon, but I didn't get to this one. So I definitely need to read this one because they are going to have their book club in mid-February, I believe. So I want to read that. And then I have The Prince of Broadway by Joanna Shupe. I love Joanna Shupe, and I want to read her backlist. I read The Rogue of Fifth Avenue, which is the first book in this series, and I freaking loved it. So this is going to be the second book, and I can't wait to continue. And then I want to try this new author that I've seen Jen from the Book Refuge read, and her name is Alice Culbreth, and she has stuff on Anyplay. This one is A Bride for a Prize Fighter, and so I really want to pick this up and try out this author, try out this new series. I believe it's like with boxers, obviously, prize fighters, in a historical setting, and so that's kind of unique. I want to give those a try. So a couple books that are actually on the read and listen for free. If you have Kindle Unlimited, these are available on there. So I have The Duke's Shotgun Wedding by Stacey Reed. I love Stacey Reed. Honestly, I didn't even look at what these were about. I just saw that I had them on my list from read and listen for free. So I added these. I think this is the first book in a series. So I'm definitely want to pick this up because I need to read more Stacey Reed for sure. And then I have In the Bed with the Earl by Christy Caldwell. Christy Caldwell has a lot of books that are available on Read and Listen for free. If you are looking for a different historical romance author or, one that's available there on Kindle Unlimited, she's a big author that has a bunch of historical romances. And then I have my 12 Recs from 12 Friends book that I'm going to do this month, and that is going to be Misconduct by Penelope Douglas. And this was actually available on Audible Plus, so I figured I might as well pick that up real quickly because you never know how long they'll stay on Audible Plus, but I definitely want to read this one. I still need to read Penelope Douglas's backlist too, so... And then the last one that I have is from the Outlander read-along. We have Written in My Own Heart's Blood. As you can see, this is a thicky Like, look how small the wording is. So this one is going to be a long one. And I need to get started on this really soon because I think Chen's live show is the 23rd. I might have that date wrong. But I definitely need to get this started. So I might try starting in like the beginning of February because I feel like so much is going to go on in this book. I actually stopped watching the show from like where the last book ended because I didn't want to spoil things for myself and I didn't want to confuse myself because the show was doing certain things that weren't even in the last book yet. I don't know. It was very confusing and I was mixing things up in my head. So I basically stopped at like kind of what the cliffhanger was in the previous book. And I haven't watched the rest of the season. So I really want to get started on this so I can also watch the season of Outlander because I'm dying to get to those episodes. So that's going to be my like basic tentative TBR. I'm sure I'll be adding more as things come up, but I do want to give myself less stress and more room for mood reading this time. I'm trying to be better about not requesting as many arcs and not putting too much on my TBR so that I can mood read. But I haven't been doing great at that. But I don't think I have as many arcs as I usually do, which is good. So I'm very excited for February. I hope you guys join us for the Mortals After Dark read along. I'm having such a great time with that, and I'm so excited to get to the next 2 books. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you're excited for in February. Let me know if you want to join the Mortals After Dark read along. Make sure to join my Discord link below so that you can communicate about those books. And we also chat about other stuff. I have a section for our buddy reads we do, and also like just book recs if you want to rec a book or anything like that. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys on the next one.